Right? Okay. Once again, welcome everyone. This is our regular Sunday service today. Let's please stand for opening. Om Vasudeva Sukam Devam Kamsacharmadhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadagurum Om Agakshe Varde Devi Akshare Brahmavadini Gayatri Jagat Mata Vishwayomi Namastute Om Bhurvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhurvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Bhurvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Trayambakam Yajamane Sugandhim Pushtivarnam Urvarupamiva Vandhanam Mrityumukshyaamritam Om Prithvi Tvayadrita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnu Madhrita Panchadhari Amam Devi Pavitram Kuru Chahasram Om Shri Prithvi Mata Bhyo Namah Namami Om Apavitra Pavitra Va Sarvashtam Gato Piva Yashmari Purnaditapsham Savaya Bhayantara Suchi Om Hastakshalanam Samartyami Govindaya Namah Right now, that's the Om Amritopaskarnamasi Swaha Om Amrita Pidanasi Swaha Om Satyam Yasha Shirmai Shri Shvayataham Swaha Astrakshalanam Samartyami Govindaya Namah Pushmule Sato Brahma Pushmadye Janardana Pushagare Sankram Deva Pushgaram Karumayam Om Yena Badrobali Raja Danendo Mahabala Ten Tvam Prativadnami Raksha Machala Machala what is Rakshan Yujan and the tongues first if you repeat all the rights. Touch first the lips. Om Vangamaste Astu Nose Om Nasur Me Pranam So eyes Om Aksharor Me Chakshu Astu ears Om Karanyor Me Shotram Astu arms Om Bahur Me Balmastu thighs Om Urvu Me Ujo Astu alma Om Arishtani Me Igani Kanustarva Me Saha Santu. We'll join in the Swasti Vacha now, his benediction mantras. We invite all to join. It's take your Om Hari Om Swasti na Indro Vridhasrava Swasti na Pusha Vishnu Veda Swasti na Starkshu Arishtanevi Swasti no Brihaspati Dadhatu Om Paya Prithvivyam Paya Ushadhishu Payudhyantarikshe Payudha Payaswati Pradesha Sandrumayam Om Vishnu Raratmasi Vishnu Shtakrishnu Vishnu Surasi Vishnu Dhruvasi Vishnu Masi Vishnu Vedava Om Agnir Devata Vatu Devata Suryu Devata Chandrama Devata Vasu Devata Rudra Devata Aditya Devata Marutu Devata Vishwadeva Devata Brahaspati Devata Indra Devata Varno Deva वनस्पत्य शांति विश्वदेव शांति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वगुण शांति शांतिरेव शांति सामा शांतिरेधि ओम विश्वानि देव सहितर्दुरितानि त्वास्व यद्भद्रं तनास्व ओम शुक्लं वरदं देव शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्ते ओम शांति 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 परा भवन्तु। प्रेम से बोल श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय। शरणम प्रभु काशी देवी। ओम भूरस्ति भूमिरस्ति दितिरस्ति विश्वधाय विश्वस्य भुवनस्य धात्री पृथ्वी अच्छा पृथ्वी त्रिगोंगा पृथ्वी मही गोम सह। प्रेम से बोल श्री पृथ्वी माता की जय। शरणम प्रभु। Now with flowers in the hand, we join to offer our salutations to the one Sri Ganesha. Ganesha is Vigneshwar, remover of obstacles, giver of success, storehouse of wisdom. We ask you, O Bhagavan, may you bless us, inspire us from within with knowledge, intelligence, wisdom, to be able to recognize our challenges and the ability to overcome all of them so that all success can always be with us. Om Gajananam Bhutaganasevitam Kapekajamno Vacharabhakshanam Umasatam Vishopavinashakayatam Namami Vigneshwaraparam Om Yehiram Maheshaputra Samasta Vignohavinasha Daksha Mangala Puja Prathama Pradhanam Yamana Pujam Bhagavan Namaste. Om Sarvamangala Mangale Shive Sarvata Sadhike Shane Priyamake Gauri Narayani Namastute. Sri Ganeshaya Namah Sri Gaurinath Alright, we are joining in a Ganesha Bhajana this time. Ramyam Sushophanam Divyam Sarva Saukyakaram Shivam Asanam Cha Mayaratnam
सतयुग की बात बताए गिरिजा सुत की कथा सुनाए। सतयुग की बात बताए गिरिजा सुत की कथा सुनाए। सतयुग की बात बताए गिरिजा सुत की कथा सुनाए। प्राप्त उठान की बेला थी वो कोई न था प्रहलाद की जो मूरत इसी माटी की बनाई। प्राण प्रतिष्ठा उसमें कराई बोल किसी को आने न देना जब तक ना पेश सुनाए। सतयुग की बात बताए गिरिजा सुत की कथा सुनाए। सतयुग की बात बताए गिरिजा सुत की कथा सुनाए। कितने में शंकर जी प्रदाई सतयुग की बात बताए गिरिजा सुत की कथा सुनाई शीश उतारा उस बालक का व्याकुल हारा पार्वती का बोल के शंकर आने न जाने कैसे किसको प्राण दिलाए सरयुग की बात बताए गिरिजा सत्य की कथा सुनाए सतयुग की बात बताए गिरिजा सत्य की कथा सुनाए शीश उतारा प्रभु कज सुख का व्याकुल हारा जन्म दिलाया उस दिन से पर करे खजाना उस पद से पर कही खजाना श्री परमेश्वर पति कहलाए सतयुग की बात बताए गिरिजा सत्य की कथा जय गणपति जय गजानना जय गणपति जय गजानना जय गणपति जय गजानना जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गजानना जय गणपति जय गजानना जय गणपति जय गजानना जय गणपति जय गजानना जय गणपति जय गजानना
Well done, Sean. Well done. Good job. The class hands now we go Bhagavan as Ganesha. Om Jai Ganapati Sarvaguna Sadam Avigarbhadana Kripa Vignaharan Mangalkaran Jai Jai Girija Om Agacha Ganeshwari Devi Swastana Parmeshwari Aham Puja Karishyami Aham Sada Samukho Prem se usse gauri Ganesha Bhagwan ki Jai Sharanam Prabhu. We meditate now and make offerings to Mahalakshmi, Lakshmi the dispenser of prosperity, of wealth, of health, of beauty, of fortune. Most importantly, in Hindu philosophy, light is a symbol of wisdom as opposed to darkness, which symbolizes ignorance. Today, as we offer praises to Mahalakshmi, we are asking, O Devi, in the like manner the light dispels the darkness of night, so may the darkness of our ignorance be replaced by the light of spiritual wisdom. In this Mahalakshmi, we join in humble salutation. Gangajalam Samanitam Savarto Yesadam Sarvam Deva Devi Shatapati Devi Sukhasamayati Yagyasana Surahati Sarvarnam Devi Nasisi Devi Oh, sorry. No, nobody was singing that.
Lakshmi
तो ज्योति तेजो सारी जग हो जय उजियारा ओ ये लक्ष्मी माता अब तू ज्योति तेजो सारी जग हो जय उजियारा ओ मेरे लक्ष्मी माता जीवन के अंधियारों में तू ही है जीवन ज्योति देने वाले ओ करियर देने वाले सब दुख नाश को हमारे ओ ये लक्ष्मी माता ये सारा जग हरियाणा अब तो ज्योति तेजो सारे जग हो जय उजियारा ओ ये लक्ष्मी माता तू ज्योति तेजो सारे जग को जिए उजियारा ओ हे लक्ष्मी माता मेरे शत्रु की नाश करो सब सुख दीजिए ये माया मेरे शत्रु की नाश करो सब सुख दीजिए ये माया ओ शीश तू सब हमको ओ शीश तू सब हमको यही है बीने हमारे ओ ये लक्ष्मी माता ये सारा जग हरियाणा अब तो ज्योति तेजो सारे जग हो जय उजियारा ओ ये लक्ष्मी माता ये सारा जग हरियाणा अब तो ज्योति तेजो सारे जग हो जय उजियारा ओ ये लक्ष्मी माता
Transform we refer to the Divine Mother as Mahalakshmi. Om Majulakshmi Parikripa Karo Hriday Devas Manokamana Siddh Kari Purva Meriya त्राहि त्राहि दुःखहारिणी अरोगेहि सब त्रास जयति जयति जय लक्ष्मी करी शत्रुन का नाश महालक्ष्मी नमस्तुभ्यं सुरेश्वरी हरिप्रिये नमस्तुभ्यं दयानिधे ॐ या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः प्रेम से महालक्ष्मी माता की जय शरणम प्रभु We offer salutations out to Navagraha Devata. Navagraha symbolizing the planets in the solar system. We as Hindus, we accept our lives are influenced by the energy from the planets. For this reason, we offer praises to Navagraha. Should the constellation of the planets not be propitious for us, depending upon the time and place of our work as well as our own actions, that may our health, our lives not be affected in any negative, any adverse manner. Especially today, we pray for those of our members who may be ill, suffering in some way or the other from the negative effects of the brothers. We pray, Bhagavan, bless these individuals, make them well, make them whole, and they may once more be able to contribute to their homes, to their families. Especially today, we pray for Srimati Sheila Simbudas, Srimati Hare Ritraj, Srimati Janaki Samaru, Sriman Birju Rampal, Srimati Anjani Rampal, Srimati Hare Ramprasad, Sriman Dev Tavu, Sriman Rai Sankar, Srimati Jani Prasad, and Sriman Munesar Budhan, and also one more, Srimati Ramurti Lildhar. All these people, of course, are not in very good health at this time. We pray Bhagavan bless them, and we pray for universal welfare for all of humanity as well. Whoever, in some way or the other, is suffering from the negative effects, we ask Bhagavan to show His grace, bless these individuals so they may be able to recover very quickly, ease them from their pains. Om Brahma Murari Sripuranta Kari Manu Shashi Bhuni Suto Burasta Gurusta Sukra Shani Rahu Ketu Sarve Shanti Karavantu Sarve Shanti Karavantu Prem Swasi Navgrahani Yuvata Ki Jai Sharanam Prabhu. We meditate now and offer salutations now to Mahavishnu, Vishnu, the all-pervasive Bhagavan who becomes manifest from time to time and age to age for the benefit of humankind, by whose grace and blessings the dumb speaks eloquently, the lame is able to cross mountains, the impossible becomes possible. We ask, O Bhagavan, in the same way become manifest in the world for the benefit of humankind. May it become manifest within my heart. Be the guide of my intellect, guiding me on the path of truth, of dharma, of righteousness, of religion, the path which leads to welfare here as well as the hereafter. For this Mahavishnu, we join in humble salutation. Om Sashankachakram Sakivita Kundaram Sapita Vastam Sarasiroeksham Sarvakshastakaustumasriyam Namami Vishnu Shirasachaturajam Om Karoti Vacharam Pangumam Gaite Girim Yatakrapatamam Vande Paramanandamaharam Om Nilam Bhujashamalakomarangam Sita Samaropitaramamaram Charucharam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunataya Nathaya Sitaya Patlaye Namah Om Nilavarnam Pitavastram Srivatsapad Bhushitam Govindam Gokulanandam Brahmadhyerapi Pujitam Brahmadhyerapi Pujitam Sri Mahavishnu Bhagavanabhyo Namaha Namami Om Ramyam Sashobhanam Divyam Sarvasaukyakaram Shubham Asanam Chamaya Rabbam Dhamana Parameshwaram Vajavam Sadam.
भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम राम चरण घन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ राम चरण घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम क्रोधन छोड़ा कीर्तन छोड़ा क्रोधन छोड़ा जो चाहे घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ राम चरण घन राम चरण घन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ राम चरण घन राम चरण घन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम लालच करके झूठी माया लालच करके असल कर्म घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण ओ राम चरण घन राम चरण घन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ राम चरण घन राम चरण घन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम अति सुख पावे जो सुमिरन से अति सुख पावे सो सुमिरन घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम राम चरण घन राम चरण घन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ राम चरण घन राम चरण घन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम ओ भजूमन राम चरण घनश्याम
Amarji, did you lead a Vishnu Kirtan, Ram or Krishna? Please.
बोलो राम जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय राम बोलो राम
जन्म सफल होगा रे बंदे मन में राम बसारे मन में राम बसारे बोलो राम जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम
जय जय राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम जय जय राम
राम प्रसिद्ध पावन करुणा कर और सदा सुख दाता बोलो राम
जय जय राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
राम प्रसिद्ध पावन करुणा कर और सदा सुख दाता रस सुहागन अति मन भावन राम से प्रीत लगाए मन में नाम बसाए बोलो राम जय जय राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम
जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम
जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
मोह माया है झूठा बंधन क्या गुरु से तुम प्राणी
बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
मोह माया है झूठा बंधन क्या गुरु से तुम प्राणी राम नाम ज्योति जलाकर अपना भाग लगाए मन में राम बसाए बोलो राम
जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
राम भजन में खूब किया पूरी निर्मल काया बोलो
राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम
जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
राम भजन में खूब किया पूरी निर्मल से काया राम नाम से प्रीत लगाकर जीवन पार लगाए मन में राम बसाए
बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम जय जय राम
बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम
जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
बोलो राम
जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
प्रेम से महाविष्णु भगवान की जय शरणम प्रभु. Like Manana, we offer salutations to Bhagavan Shiva Shambhu. Shiva symbolizing the reabsorbing aspect of divinity. Atman becomes merged into Paramatman. When self-realization is achieved, he is called Vardata, the giver of wounds. By repeating the Panchakshar mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, with love, with devotion, in the puja of Bhagavan Shiva, the sinful tendencies inherent in all of us, brought on by our anger, greed, jealousy, covetousness, hatred, pride, envy, all products of the ego, these become burned in the fires of our devotion. In this manner, we are able to attain purity of thoughts, of words, of deeds, of mind, of intellect, of action, which are prerequisites for self-realization. By offering puja to Bhagavan Shiva with love, with devotion. I invite you now to sit upright, to cast away the worldly cares. We all have them. Let's put these at the back of the minds for a little while. Meditate on the most pleasing form of Bhagavan. Bhagavan is beyond names, beyond forms, and names and forms are simply means, tools that we use to help us to keep the mind from wandering. We ask Bhagavan to make his home in our hearts, to be the guide of the intellect, guiding us on the path that leads to the highest welfare. To this show, we join in humble salutations. Om Pashuna Patim Papanasham Paresham Rajendrasya Kritim Vasanam Varenam Jata Jutta Madhye Suradagam Gavarim Mahadevamekam Smarami Smaranim Om Mahesham Suresham Sararatinasham Vibhum Vishwanatham Vibhutyanga Bhusham Virupaksham Andharkavani Trinetram Sadanandamire Prabhu Panchavatram Om Girisham Ganesham Kale Neelavarnam Vajendradhirodam Gunatikarupam Bhavan Bhaskaram Bhasmanat Bhushitangam Bhavani Karatram Vaje Panchavatram Om Shivakanta Shambho Shashankar Namae Maheshana Shulim Jatachutadharim Tvameko Jagat Vyapako Vishwarupa Prasidam Prasidam Prabhu Purnarupam Om Namaste Namaste Vibhu Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chirananda Murte Namaste Namaste Tapayoga Gamya Namaste Namaste Shruti Gyana Gamya Om Prabhu Shulapane Vibhu Vishwanath Mahadeva Shambho Mahesha Trinetra Shivakanta Shanta Smarare Purare Varanyo Varenyo Namanyo Nagamya Varanyo Varenyo Namanyo Nagamya Om Sri Shiv Shankar Bhagavadabhyo Namaha Namami Om Ramyam Shobhanam Divyam Sarvasokhyaakaram Shubham Asanam cha maya raktam grahana shiva shankaram Om namostu nilagravayam sahasrakshayam vidushe Athoyasya sapano hantebhyo karannamaha Om triyambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivaranam Urvarukmiha vandanam mrityurmukshyamadata Om Varunasya Udam Vanmasmi Varunasya Skam Sarjanisto Varunasya Ritsadanyasti Varunasya Ritsadamasti Varunasya Ritsadamasti Vadyamaryam Achmanyam Snanam Sri Shiv Shankar Bhagavan Pujanam Om Namah Shivaya Namo Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Namo Namah Om Gokshiradhanandesham Gokshirenmaya Pratam Snapanangeva Devesh Grahana Shiva Shankaram Shir Snadam Sri Shiv Shankar Bhagavan Pujanam नमः शिवाय नमो नमः ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय नमो नमः ओम पंचामृत नमः शिवाय नमो नमः ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय नमो नमः ओम शिवाला सर्वशिवाला मणिवालस्ताश्विना सप्तशेताक्षरनस्य रूपा पशुपते कर्मण्यामा अविलुप्ता रौद्रा नमो रूपा पारजन्य गंगा जल स्नानम शुद्ध जल स्नानम श्री शिव शंकर भगवान पूजनम ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय नमो नमः ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय नमो नमः प्रेम से बोलो शिव शंकर भगवान की जय शरणं प्रभु
महादेव मेरी लाज रहे महादेव मेरी लाज रहे महादेव फिर भी अमृत तुम्हीं लुटाते भुवन में आज भाग पर फिर परी है आज भाग पर फिर परी है फिर तुम विराज रहे महादेव कोई रही गरीबी हर्षों की रही गरीबी
Join now to glorify Bhagavan Shiva through the medium of the Panchakshara Sutra. So, as you hear, Amar, go ahead, Namah Shivaya. But please don't sing the whole thing, otherwise you'll be here. Stop it.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Rameshwara Shiva Rameshwara, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Rameshwara Shiva Rameshwara, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Har Har Shiva Jatadhara, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Jatadhara Shiva Jatadhara, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Jatadhara Shiva Ganga Shiva Ganga, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Mahakaleshwara Mahakaleshwara, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Mahakaleshwara Shiva Kaleshwara, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om
Sanchara Padayo Padakshana Vidhi Stotrani Sarvagiro Yayakaram Karumi Karatakiram Shambho Taradanam Okaracharam Pritam Va Kayajam Karmajam Va Sravananayana janmana samapradham Vihitam avihitam va sarvamitakshamasva Jai Jai Karnade Shri Mahadeva Shambho Jai Jai Karnade Shri Mahadeva Shambho Prem Sri Shiv Shankar Bhagwan Ki Jai Sharam Prabhu. Alright, musicians, I thank you for understanding. Time is of a limit here, unfortunately, and we don't want to exceed our 2-hour slot. And of course, like I said earlier, it's being broadcasted live on YouTube, not YouTube, sorry, on Facebook. So if you don't want your image to be in there, you have to let them know from in advance. Otherwise, it will be, and it might be, but I don't know. But we'll see. It's hard to do with no skip one person, film another person. In the meantime, we'll take the prasadam this time. After prasad, we'll have the Shiva Abhishekam going on simultaneously, and the kirtan singing will continue. If you touch anything someone else has touched, please sanitize your hands before you touch your face, your nose, your eyes, or anything else for that matter. We still have to maintain our distances, so one at a time. Prasad, one at a time for the Abhishek, and you have to help yourself once you get from there. Nobody's going to help you. So please understand and bear with us. We have to exit this until COVID is finished. And COVID is not going to finish until everybody in the world has had their vaccine, or they've either had COVID and recovered, or had COVID and died. Take your pick. It's simple. There's not much excuse. So one of those things got to happen before this thing is gone. So we beseech all of you, if you haven't had your vaccine yet, please take it as early as you can. If you have, then you're reasonably good. There will be boosters coming along the way. We prepare for that. It's not going away in a hurry. So let's try to cope with the situation we are in and live accordingly. Protect each other by protecting yourself. This is the main thing. Alright? Thank you so much. I'm going to go off for a little while, and you'll have the bhajan and kirtan continuing until I get back to you.
बाजत बांसुरिया सखी रे सुनो बाजत बांसुरिया सखी रे सुनो बाजत बांसुरिया बाजत बांसुरिया सखी रे सुनो बाजत बांसुरिया सखी रे सुनो बाजत बांसुरिया
Pardon me? Right. Thank you.
Rama, oh Ram Re, bol mat jana, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के रामा ओ राम रे भूल मत जाना तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के ओ तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के रामा ओ राम रे भूल मत जाना तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के तुझको जलाऊंगा वापस सजाऊंगा तुझको जलाऊंगा वापस सजाऊंगा तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के रामा ओ राम रे भूल मत जाना तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के ओ तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के तुझको दिखाऊंगा वापस सजाऊंगा तुझको दिखाऊंगा वापस सजाऊंगा तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के रामा ओ राम रे भूल मत जाना तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के ओ तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के
राम रे सूरज श्याम तेरी अयोध्या ओ राम जी तेरी अयोध्या
दूध लाया पानी लाया तेरे लिए, दूध लाया पानी लाया तेरे लिए,
दूध लाया पानी लाया तेरे लिए, दूध लाया पानी लाया तेरे लिए।
तुझको खिलाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, तुझको खिलाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के। रामा हो राम रे भूल मत जाना, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के, ओ तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के।
राम रे भूल मत जाना तेरी अयोध्या ओ राम जी तेरी अयोध्या।
इंत लाया पत्र लाया तेरे लिए, इंत लाया पत्र लाया तेरे लिए,
इंत लाया पत्र लाया तेरे लिए, इंत लाया पत्र लाया तेरे लिए।
मंदिर बनाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, मंदिर बनाऊंगा वापस न जाऊंगा, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के। रामा हो राम रे भूल मत जाना, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के, ओ तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के। रामा हो राम रे भूल मत जाना, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के, ओ तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के, ओ तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के।
भजु मन हरिहर ओम सुमिरु मन नारायण। भजु मन हरिहर ओम सुमिरु मन नारायण। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि,
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि।
नारायण हरि नारायण हरि।
भजु मन हरिहर ओम सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन हरिहर ओम सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन सूरज भजु मन चंद्रा।
भजु मन सूरज भजु मन चंद्र,
भजु मन सूरज भजु मन चंद्रा।
भजु मन सूरज भजु मन चंद्र,
भजु मन पवन सुमिर सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन पवन सुमिर सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन हरिहर ओम सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन हरिहर ओम सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन ब्रह्मा भजु मन विष्णु।
भजु मन ब्रह्मा भजु मन विष्णु,
भजु मन ब्रह्मा भजु मन विष्णु।
भजु मन ब्रह्मा भजु मन विष्णु,
भजु मन शिवा ओंकार सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन शिव ओंकार सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन हरिहर ओम सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन हरिहर ओम सुमिरु मन नारायण।
भजु मन सीता भजु मन राम।
भजु सरकी देवी सरस्वती माँ सुर्ख ज्ञान सितारा माँ हे नियारा इस हृदय में सुर्ख दीप जला दे माँ सुर्ख दीप जला दे माँ सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ सुर्ख ज्ञान सितारा माँ हे नियारा इस हृदय में सुर्ख दीप जला दे माँ सुर्ख दीप जला दे माँ सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ दीप जला दे माँ सुर का दीप जला दे माँ सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ सासत में आवाज़त में लागत में बस रख देना सासत में आवाज़त में लागत में बस रख देना तेरी चरण शरण में आया बाकी जो बना ले माँ तेरी याद इस हृदय में सुर का दीप जला दे माँ सुर का दीप जला दे माँ सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ पूजन अर्चन वंदन सब कुछ शत सुमन अर्पण दाता पूजन अर्चन वंदन सब कुछ शत सुमन अर्पण दाता प्रेम अकेला बेटे तुम्हें कर बस सितारो माँ हे नियारा इस हृदय में सुर का दीप जला दे माँ सुर का दीप जला दे माँ सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ सुर का ज्ञान सितारो माँ हे नियारा इस हृदय में सुर का दीप जला दे माँ सुर का दीप जला दे माँ सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ
Tam Brahma Bhova Swaram Swaha. Om Shri Pratibhatatyo Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Varunadevaya Swaha.
जो तू मिटाना चाहे
Shri Ganesha
जीवन की तृष्णा, जो तू मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा 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 हरे, ओ बोले शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा। जो तू मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा, जो तू मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा। कृष्ण नाम पावन पावन, कृष्ण नाम प्यारा प्यारा, जो न बोले कृष्णा कृष्णा जग में हुआरा हरा। कृष्ण नाम पावन पावन, कृष्ण नाम प्यारा प्यारा, जो न बोले कृष्णा कृष्णा जग में हुआरा हरा। मन के मिटे अंधियारा बोले कृष्णा कृष्णा, मन के मिटे अंधियारा बोले कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा। को मिले ना पीरा सुख का मरम क्या जाने, जो न गाए कृष्णा कृष्णा इसी का धर्म क्या माने। जिसी को मिले ना पीरा सुख का मरम क्या जाने, जो न गाए कृष्णा कृष्णा इसी का धर्म क्या माने। चाहे अगर उजियारा बोले कृष्णा कृष्णा, चाहे अगर उजियारा बोले कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा। छोड़ दे बकाना दर्द, तोड़ दे हमका गिरा, फूल का जगत का बैठा जग है दुखियों का डेरा। छोड़ दे बकाना दर्द, तोड़ दे हमका गिरा, फूल का जगत का बैठा जग है दुखियों का डेरा। फिर को मारा मारा बोले कृष्णा कृष्णा, फिर को मारा मारा बोले कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोले बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा। जो तू मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा, जो तू मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा।
Everybody get your card?
No.
What you didn't get? I don't know.
I know, you're bigger.
You want to say? No? Okay. All right. In that case, In that case, we will begin our pravachan. He said no. Listen, I always ask ahead, okay? So if you turn yourself down, I can't help you. I gotta continue. Time is of the essence here, so we gotta continue. What I like to ask all the musicians, however, and the singers especially, is if you're singing and the song has 8 verses, don't sing all 8 verses. Otherwise, others will not get a chance. And we try to be as brief as possible. Again, do 3 verses, that's enough. You think 3 is enough? Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So let's keep it at that. And otherwise, I'll have to show you sign. I don't want to do that. But,
if you show me stuff, that will be worse than you.
no, we don't want to sing Chalisa here for every song, okay? So please bear with us and help us out. Help us to help each other. That's what it is all about, right? So I have to drop my mask at this time because my glasses are fogging up. So please bear with me. Let's join in partner first. Om Kabhiramam Ranarangadhiram Rajivanetram Raghuvanshanatham Karantarupam Karunakarantam Shri Rajandram Sharanam Prapati Jai
Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram,
Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Karpura Gauram Karuna Avtaram Sarsarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarabinde Om Bhavani Saritam Namami Jai Ram
Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama,
Shri Ram Jai Ram
Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Now since we restarted after this COVID interruption, I have to keep grinding that in all the time. Otherwise we'll have another one coming up. Look like the fourth wave has started in the US already. We're trying to avoid it here. I hope we're successful. Because all this does is bring more misery and more lack of human contact. So when I restarted, I started with telling how important human contact is. It's driving us all crazy. You got nobody to talk with except your spouse, and then you start fighting. So you need outside contact, believe me. Humans are like that. We're designed, we're built that way. So this is what it is all about. And contact with humans can be both positive and negative. We know we want to avoid the negative if we can. And then last week, of course, being Guru Purnima, I spoke a little bit about the Guru and the importance of the Guru, but we didn't get very far. But today I want to look at a different aspect of how these two will combine. Now in life, in existence, there are four things that are present. The first one is the matter, which builds everything. It consists of the air, the earth, the fire, the heat, the space, the gaseous space, and the water. So these five are present in pretty much in different quantities, of course, in pretty much what exists. Then from that you have, and matter's job is to exist only, that is function. It only exists. And it cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed. It has always been in existence, it always will be. There never will be a time when matter will not exist. The second, of course, is a plant. And not only does the plant exist, but it grows. And because it grows, it wants to grow. That's all a plant does. It exists and it grows. Then, of course, we have the animal life following that. And the animal not only exists, and of course the way man is behaving in these days and causing so much disruption to the environment, and we don't know how long which species are going to exist. So species are dying out all the time, but it doesn't mean animals will not exist, they will, and they have functions. So not only do they exist, they grow, and they want to live. All animals want to live. It's instinctive within them. And of course, after that, we have the humans. And this is where all the trouble seems to come from, isn't it? Because not only does human exist, not only do they grow, not only do they live and they want to live, but they want to live with happiness. Correct? All animals want to live, all humans want to live and be happy. Now, how we go about achieving this happiness is a problem. Because for most of us, we think happiness is owning this and owning that, stealing from that person and possessing it. Possession seems to be our means of happiness. But it's a fleeting happiness, unfortunately. It doesn't exist forever. So in life, there are two types of opposites. And in everything, there's darkness, there's light. There's hate, there's love. There's wickedness, there's goodness. So all these things are all over. We see them all the time. Even in plant life, you see that. For instance, if you look around the pine tree, nothing seems to grow under that except weed, right? Whereas in other plants, you see everything is growing around it. So everything seems to have this kind of opposites built into them. And in the animal kingdom, in the animal world, some are grass eaters and some are meat eaters. Now, we may say that the animal that eats the other animal is cruel, isn't it? Or you think it's cruelty? No, it's designed this way. The existence is designed this way. And why is it designed this way? Because when the animals become weak and sick, they will only spread it to their buddies if they continue to live. So they become the prey quickly to the other predators. So this way the balance is maintained. Now there's a wonderful short YouTube video called How the Wolf Brought Back the River. If you get a chance, look at it sometime. What happened is, in some park in the US, the wolves were all removed. So when the wolves disappeared, the river, of course, is flowing through that valley. The deer population exploded. And when the deer population exploded, they started eating up all the grass. The river started changing course. All the vegetation seems to have disappeared. And now it becomes harder for things like man, of course, being interferent he is, started shooting up the deers. But that didn't stop it from happening. Not until they brought back the wolves. Then the river started once more reestablishing itself. proper banks, proper flow, and of course the vegetation became huge. And of course everything started to thrive. The beavers started making their dams again. And with the dams, of course, comes the water flow. And so things improve immensely. So we know that when we interfere, humans, we cause destruction that we don't even think about. In nature, all the cold stuff is buried under the ground because what? It's harmful to humans. But what does the man do? He goes and he digs it up, burns it, and causes more grief. So this is in everything. Now, the pairs of opposite exist. Now, when the evil person comes along, do you suppose he knows that he's evil? What do you think? He thinks he's doing good, isn't it? But how do we know if we're evil or not? Since you think you're good, and you may be evil, are we able to recognize this trait in us? We don't know that we're evil. We don't see beyond ourselves. We think what we feel and do and act and so on, everybody is the same way, isn't it? So we think everybody is like ourselves. So when we meet someone who actually is good, we suspect them. We're very suspicious. This guy can't be this way. How can this woman be this way? But if you look at how the mother treats her kid, selflessly, that love, that mamta that exists between the mother and the child, you will never be able to find anywhere else. She will give up her life for the welfare of her kid. This doesn't happen in every human being, but it happens a lot. So how do we go about recognizing our own traits of being evil? So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about evil. I'm not going to finish. But then I want to look at how you recognize yourself you're good as well. It's a good thing, isn't it? You think? It's something you want to know? Okay. So the Saint Tulsidas has gone to great lengths to write a few verses here. In the composition of his Ramcharitmanas, he pays obeisance to everyone. He pays obeisance to the good, the saintly. But he also pays obeisance to the wicked and the worldly. And we need to find out which category we fall in. If you see yourself in there, it will be a good thing. You know why? Because only when we see our own faults are we able to correct them. If we ourselves see them, we can correct them. If we do not see them, what happens? They become bad habits. Bad habits define who we are. If you think about it that way. So we will look today at some of the qualities of the person who needs some reformation. Let me put it this way. I don't want to say they're evil because really and truly, even the worst amongst us has some good qualities. Even the best amongst us have some bad qualities. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. But the only way the future comes is if we recognize that quality within us and work towards their correction. Like I said last time, it's not like I'm rushing, looking only for liberation. I want to experience life as it is. And Hinduism is all about experiential. It's not about belief. You can believe whatever you want. It doesn't mean it's the right thing. Until you experience it and know it, only then it becomes to be real. History, anybody can tell you anything about history. It doesn't mean it's true. Who is from that period there who will come back and tell you, well, it didn't happen that way, or it happened this way? No one. They wrote stuff down. Why? Because they wrote it the way they see it, and no two of us see the same thing. So we need to understand this carefully. Tulsidas writes Ramcharitmanas, Chaupai.
Bahore bandikal ganagati bhaaye, Devi mukhaaya dahine upaaye. Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Parahit hani labh jin kere, Parahit hani labh jin kere, Ujre harsh vishal base. Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
So Tulsidas begins, in all sincerity, I pay homage also to those wretches who without cause or delight to vex the righteous, for whom another's loss is a gain. So if you are happy when somebody loses something, consider yourself to be not so good. You should be showing sympathy if somebody has a loss. This is why when people pass away, a family pass away, you show up at their home to support their family so that they can get through this loss. Somebody lost something material, you want to show some care. Don't be happy even if you stole it. You shouldn't show happiness. You should show some care that I feel for your loss. I gotta be honest, nobody feels a loss like the person who has lost it. We can show care, but we don't feel the same thing they do. So when you have some kind of bereavement in the family, the people who are suffering the bereavement feels it the most. Only the wounded feels the pain of the wound. Everyone else can show care, but that's the idea. This is how you show your humanity, that you care for them, you care for their loss. For whom another's loss is gain. So if somebody show happiness when you lose something, they're not your well-wisher. Who delights in another's ruin. So when the person becomes ruined, you shouldn't show delight. And this happens quite a lot. Look in the US in this past electoral process that went there from last year to this year. My God. People, I cannot believe people speak like this. I'm wondering, are these human beings who speak like this? And you've seen the images on TV, you've seen their behavior. No doubt, a person who feels loss feels it with them. He has to go through the pain of separation. But to show delight at the person's loss, or to add salt to the wound, is not something that is human. That is not human. I have to explain one thing here. When we do have a bereavement in the family, and you see the family go through certain processes, certain rituals need to be done. You think the ritual is going to help the person who has passed on? What do you think? You don't know. Is it that you don't know? Or you have an opinion? We don't know, yes. I don't think anybody knows that for sure. But let's look at the logic behind these things. I mean, over the past many centuries, every religious tradition has some kind of ritual which they perform. It may not be the same ritual, but there is a ritual that is involved. Even ritual is performed in eating your dinner. You got to put the fork on the right side and the knife on the left side, or it's the other way around. The fork on the left side. I use my fork because I'm right-handed, so I got to cut with my left hand. So the thing is, if you're going to cut with your right hand, because the right hand is stronger, so you got to use it for cutting, and this one is only sticking. Whatever you're cutting, whether it's a vegetable or some other stuff, you still got to go through the ritual. So you got to pack the table in such a way. You put the plate, you put the fork, you put the knife, you put the spoon. Everything has its place, isn't it? It's a ritual. Someone's passing away. You think you just throw them in a hole like a donkey or a horse or something like that, and then that's it. Even people's horse or donkey, they probably utter a prayer over it before it dies, because they serve you so much. So it's not that you need to show some care. This is a human being. You got to treat it with respect, or was a human being. So we have rituals which are performed. The rituals serve two purposes. Atman, which occupies the body at the time and leaves when the brain stops functioning, has certain attachment for that body. It's gone through pain and tribulations and everything, hasn't it? Who feels the pain when you have pain? Is it the body feels the pain? You think? All over, but which is all over? What actually feels the pain? What expresses that pain in you? The brain? Then the brain is a problem. The brain doesn't hurt. You feel the pain somewhere else on the joint. I got right now on my head. But what is feeling the pain? Pain is the price that Jivan pays, Atma pays, to occupy the body. So it's not the body that is feeling the pain. The body gets bad, yes. But Jivan or Jiva feels the pain. And what does the pain do? The pain starts a process where it works towards avoiding that pain, isn't it? So some people will take medication. Some will put, what do they call it, Voltaren? But Atman feels the pain, but you feel it in some part of the body. Atman occupies the whole body. When you fall in love, what falls in love? The body? You're attracted because of the sight, yes. The senses.
The heart.
The heart. Heart is only a machine that pumps blood now. That's all it does. That's all it does. It's a physical thing. But the heart we're speaking about is the internal being of the person. That is the Jivan, the life force that exists in all of us. So this is where the feeling is. So I'm continuing along the train of thought that I was on there. We'll get back to this eventually, if not this week, next week. Don't worry. Time, all we have is time, okay? But our time is limited in the sense that the time we spend here. So if I don't finish this week and you're interested, come back next week, you'll continue. It's not simple, it's not that hard. You just got to book ahead. Like, we can't ask everybody to show up every week. If you want to come every week, you got to book every week. And call early, that's the main thing. So Jivan feels the pain, Jivan feels the love. And of course, when this separation takes place, Jivan has certain attachment for that body. It's been occupying there for someone. So until a realization comes to Jivan that this body is no longer serving my purpose, it's not going to leave and go away. It sticks around. And if it sticks around, some people may not have any feeling with it, but this is how it should be. It can go back in and bring life again. It's already expelled. but it hangs around. So the rituals are the means through which Jivan comes to realization. Because once you get rid of the body now, through burial, through cremation, whatever process people use, then Jivan comes to, well, the body is no longer there. I have to begin my journey. And that's where the journey begins. Now, whether you accept this or not is immaterial. We know that for us, rebirth is the next step. So Jivan has to go look for another body. The body comes through what karma Jivan has done in not only this lifetime but previous lifetimes as well. They are all accumulating. And the Jivan is made up of 4 different parts. Is the manas, the mind part of where the senses connect to. It's the chitta, the memory where karma is stored. It's the buddhi where the intellect is. And it's the ahamkar, the ego, the part of self-preservation. So all these things are in there. So every time Jivan moves, it moves with these 4 things. And it takes the 4 based upon the karma that is performed in this and many lifetimes before. It will find suitable parentage where it can come into birth again to continue the journey. And this journey never stops, as Krishna says. Never was a time when I was not, or you were not, and never will be a time when we are not. We're here forever. So what does happen then? If that is the case, and we're working towards not getting rebirth again, liberation, how does that jive with rebirth? If you're liberated, you're supposed to be free from the cycle of births and deaths. Yeah? Now when Jivan becomes realized, it becomes a decider. Do I want to come back into the world and work towards the welfare of humanity? Become a Mahatma? Or do I stay within Brahman and experience the bliss? It doesn't mean that if you come back, realize you're not going to experience the bliss. Okay? The bliss is there forever. Once we become liberated, we never lose that liberation. We'll come back, we have to learn the lessons again when we come back. And that's why when children grow, they grow until they reach realization. You teach them 2 + 2. They know it's 4 right away. Some people take forever to know that. They keep thinking 2 and 2 = 3. Why do you think? Because they haven't learned it yet. Once you've learned certain things, all you need is a reminder. Because all this memory is already stored within all of us. So here, another's ruin is the delight of the wicked. And if you find yourself being happy, that's why, when people win the lottery, you feel happy at that? Or you think it should have been you? Don't you wish them well, though? That's the main thing.
Yes.
Of course we wish them well. When your turn comes, and it will not come before your karma has earned it. But you have to be in it to win it. Otherwise it's not going to happen. You don't buy a ticket, you can't win. You have to be in it to win it. So when the karma becomes ripe and bears its fruit, that's when your turn comes to win. You might find one person win 2-3 times, while another doesn't win at all. It's all to do with the karma. We earn everything that we have. Nothing comes for free. And once we understand that, it starts to make sense. So when we are delighted about another person's ruin, we become a bad person. Oh, geez, I'll sing this last one. We look at the explanation next time. Are you here next week? Good. Hare Jasa
केसरा केसरा उसे हर आकाश पथ सहस बाहु जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय पर दोष लखहि सहस कानी जय पर दोष लखहि सहानी परहित दुख जिनके मन माही के मन माही परहित दुख जिनके मन माही जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय राम.
So I'll read it quickly. There is an eclipse to the full moon glory of Vishnu and Shankar, who become as the valiant Sahasrabahu in doing evil to others. Now I have to explain this Sahasrabahu next time. It's a long story, but we look at it in some detail because there's lesson to be learned here. They have 1,000 eyes to detect a neighbor's fault. You know, we can see the dust in another person's eye, but not the log in your own. Remember that? Your eyes see the smallest fault of the other person, but you don't see the big faults that you have. So you have 1,000 eyes for that purpose. To detect the neighbor's faults. And their designing minds mars others' interests even as a fly spoils the clarifying part of the key. Great. So we look at these next time in some more detail. And I want to thank all of you for booking ahead and coming today. I think one or two people didn't show up. I'll find out who they are and drop them out of my list. If you say you're coming and you don't show up, it means you have very little respect for other people who want to come. So thank you so much for coming today. Praise Lord Siyapati Ramachandra Ki Jai. Now, family and friends, there's a few things I'd like to explain here. We are on Facebook Live, like I said, Facebook Voice of Dharma Temple, or just Voice of Dharma, which is it?
Voice of Dharma Temple.
Voice of Dharma Temple. So it's on the Facebook as Voice of Dharma Temple. You can watch us there again. If you want to see yourself, you can go and check it out. You might be in there. And the service is there for all times. I don't think we can get rid of these things anymore once they go there.
We can delete afterwards.
We can delete after, okay. So what we need to do then is to get a hard drive, put all this stuff on a hard drive and delete them eventually. After some time has passed. Alright? And if you are or want to be a member, I think we've got some membership already, but if you haven't yet become a member, please pay your membership up and become a member. Full Moon Raksha Bandhan will be celebrated on the 22nd of August. And I think that's a Sunday, so that should be good. And the Satnarayan Puja, of course, is going to be the night before, but we're not going to be holding that day. We'll be celebrating the full moon on the very same day of the 22nd. And Krishna Janmashtami is the week after that, the 29th. So it's a Sunday. And if you're going to be coming, I want you to book ahead early and be prepared to stay a little bit later because it's a longer service. And we'll have some more singing and so on. We'll have the hammock shaking and so on. And the stuff that goes on usually. And it's going to last a little bit longer, but it will be, if you were not able to come or you didn't get in because of other people booking before you, we will try to broadcast it live as well, right? So that's on the 29th. Starting at 10, I suspect we'll go till about 1 o'clock, right? So, if somebody wants to sponsor that day, please book ahead. All right? I just want to make that quite clear. So please let us know in advance. And if you are from the same family, two of you can sponsor at the same time. We would prefer if it's not from different families. All right? Because of the close association, of course. Now, you want to sponsor it? Okay. Can you get around to come? Okay, good. Now, the other thing is, if you have not yet had your vaccination for the COVID-19, please get it as early, because the time is going to come when I'm going to be asking if you're not vaccinated, you can't be allowed here. I can see it coming here. So please get your vaccines as early. It's not like I'm pushing vaccine, but I'm trying to make ourselves safe from you if you didn't take it. Okay? That's all it is. Yeah, exactly. And you can join us on Facebook and watch there if you want to. That's okay. We're doing good. What I would like, however, is the musicians to be here, because on that day we're going to have a lot of singing, a lot of things will be going on at the same time simultaneously. So the more people to do it, the better it will be, and the more fun you're going to get if you're watching it from home too. How's that? That's good?
I'll be here.
Okay. We have a bunch of donations this morning. I'd just like to announce them quickly, and my time is already run out. Srimati Benmati Singh, $50.25. Is there a reason for the 25 cents? No? Okay. And membership. Shanta Group 76. Is this your birthday, Shanta? 76th birthday? I think it is. Congratulations. Now, last week, unfortunately, I missed a couple people's birthday. Chandra Naubat was celebrating a birthday. Prema Dubey was celebrating, and Rama Dubey celebrated a birthday as well. Three of them at the same time. I didn't call Chandra's name because I didn't know, and she did give a donation just like you did here, but it didn't click on me. I'm a bit stupid, that's what it is about. So sometimes not everything clicks, and when it clicks, it's too late because the thing is done. So my apologies to Chandra for not announcing her birthday, but it was her birthday last week as well.
I think she doesn't like her birthday tomatoes.
She doesn't like the program.
All right.
So you did a good job.
And today's celebration, of course, is Mahare Samar. Yesterday was her birthday, right? I think. Yesterday. So many happy returns to Mahare. She has donated $100 here as well. So Mahare, many happy returns of the day. May your life be long, healthy, happy. And may Minister recover very quickly from his ailments. It's a recoverable ailment, so it cannot last forever. It's just temporary. So I hope that happens very soon. And I want to thank all of you for coming. I think I don't have anything else. Did I miss anything? Oh yes, we have a snack for you today. Mahare is providing the snack. I forgot. Yeah, thank you, Guru, for reminding me. And Mahare, for example, is thankful for providing the snack. It's a takeaway, by the way, okay? You can't eat it here. You have to take it home and eat it. So thank you all for being here today. And if you're coming next week, call early, please. Thank you all so much. Let's stand for our tea and the place.
Excuse me. All right, let's sing a song for Mahare after.
One service only, but it's going to go longer.
What time is it?
10 o'clock to 1.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Hari Shiva Omkara Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardhangi Hara Om Jai Shiva Omkara Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Hari Shiva Omkara Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardhangi Hara Om Jai Shiva Omkara Ekananda Chaturanga Panchananda Radhe Swami Panchananda Radhe Ansasan Garudasan Ansasan Garudasan Vishwahari Sahe Om Jai Shiva Omkara Puji, Dash Puji Se Sohe, O Swami Dash Puji Se Sohe. Dino Pari Rakka, Dino Pari Rakka, Tribhuvan Sohe. Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Jai Shiva Omkara, Swami Hari Shiva Omkara, Brahma Dev Sada Shiva, Brahma Dev Sada Shiva, Arnanti Dhara, Om Jai Shiva Omkara. Lakshmala, Ganamala, Mudramala, Swami Mudramala, Shankar Nigamad Sore, Shankar Nigamad Sore, Mali Shashikara, Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Sri Ram Bharati Padam Bharati, O Swami Padam Bharati, Sanikatika Prabhu Kartik, Sanikatika Prabhu Kartik, Bhutatik Saje, Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Jai Shiva Omkara, Swami Hari Shiva Omkara, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva, Ardhanti Dhara, Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva, Jnana Viveka, O Swami Jnana Viveka, Pranavakshaka Mate, Pranavakshaka Mate, Ekino Eka, Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Kripal Swami Ji ki Aarati, Jo koi nare gaare, O Swami jo koi nare gaare, Kehta Shivananda Swami, Kehta Shivananda Swami, Manchit Pal Paave, Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Jai Shiva Omkara, Swami Hari Shiva Omkara, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva, Ardhanti Dhara, Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Om Har 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 Mahadev, Om Hari Ram Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri 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 Ram Jai Jai Ram, Bhaj Govinda Jai Gopal, Bhaj Murli Manohar Nandalal, Bhaj Murli Manohar Nandalal, Bhaj Govinda Jai Gopal, Bhaj Govinda Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol, 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 Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Shantakaram Pujati Shailam Padmanabhyam Suresham Vishwadharam Gagan Sadrisham Meghavarnam Subhadram Lakshmikantam Kamalayanam Yogi Vidyagapanyam Vande Vishnu Bhavaiharanam सर्वलोके जनार्दन। ओ पाप हम पाप कर्मा पाप आत्मा पाप संभवा त्राहि मां पुंडरीकाक्षं सर्व पापो हरो हरे। ओम मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं यज पूजितं मया देवा परिपूर्णं तरस्मे। ओम पार पार परमांगरहो हरिसदेव सुधीरं परसरोजन पावहि भक्ति सदा सत्संगसिया भज रामचंद्र की जय शरणं प्रभु। प्लीज बोलो ओम गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ओम यौ शांति अंतरिक्ष शांति पृथ्वी शांति आत्मा शांति पृष्ठदेव शांति वनस्पत्य शांति विश्वदेव शांति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वं शांति शांति देव शांति सर्वं शांति देव शांति 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 हरि। प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय।
Alright, we want to recognize, of course, Sakura and Carl for the year gone by since the last were here. Welcome.
Okay. We would like to sing a song for Mahadev, who is a very hard-working member of this mandir. We wish her a happy birthday today. तेरा आजो जन्मदिन तुमको मुबारक हो। तेरा आजो जन्मदिन तुमको मुबारक हो। आजो जन्मदिन आजो जन्मदिन आजो जन्मदिन आजो जन्मदिन आजो जन्मदिन तेरा आजो जन्मदिन तुमको मुबारक हो। तेरा आजू जन्मदिन तुमको मुबारक हो। रहूं तू जगत में करो धर्म का रक्षा। चोखरी नयन नाचू आवे प्रेम प्रेम का भिक्षा। प्रेम का पति है बड़े निराला। प्रेम का पति है बड़े निराला। अनहोया संगा तेरा आजू जन्मदिन तुमको मुबारक हो। तेरा आजू जन्मदिन तुमको मुबारक हो। आजू जन्मदिन तुमको मुबारक हो। Today is your birthday and we are here to celebrate. Happy birthday to you. आजू जन्मदिन तुमको मुबारक हो। Today is your birthday and we are here to celebrate. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mahadev, and thank you for all your hard work. Oh yes, Shanta Jagru is also celebrating her birthday. Shanta has been with this temple the longest. I am second longest. She was the first member and I was the second. Thank you again, Shanta, for staying with us. Thanks.